Hey guys, it's me, Cupid. I have schizophrenia. Um, sorry, I'm kind of been in a weird mood lately. Um, had this particular voice. Sorry, I need to speak up, don't I? Been in kind of a weird mood lately. Um, had a particular voice that showed up again, and I'm kind of having a hard time with it. Um, it was a voice that I fell in love with, and it was there for a long time watching me, um, and it's hard, you know. I mean, I have voices all the time, but I had felt like I had finally gotten rid of this one. Not like I wanted to get rid of it completely. Like I wanted to get rid of it because I wanted to be able to get over it, but it coming back has really made me realize that I'm not fully over that person. It was a real person. Um, most of my voices, if not all of them, are real people. Um, I just hear them. Um, I don't know. I hear them watching me sometimes. Those are usually during my episodes, and then I have them sometimes where they're just like talking about me or whatever. Um, there's all kinds of different ones, but anyways, so sorry if I'm in such a weird place today and yesterday. Um, I just need to work through some stuff, and um, this voice has not been watching me physically, but has been watching me through these videos, and I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how to feel about whether that is true or not. Different stuff. Just working through things. So today I kind of want to just talk about what schizophrenia is and then do some stories. Um, I have a few stories that I can tell. So let's start off with what schizophrenia is. Um, I have it here somewhere, I promise. Um, okay, so schizophrenia is a brain disorder. Um, individuals, can't speak. Individuals suffering from schizophrenia are often unable to distinguish the imaginary from reality. People with schizophrenia may have difficulty responding to various social situations in an emotionally appropriate manner. I think I talked about this yesterday. This often results in issues with interpersonal relationships or in other major areas of their life, such as work or school. Um, Schizophrenia is sometimes confused with multiple personality disorder, which I've already talked about this too. I think it's really annoying when people call someone else a schizophrenic and they don't even know what a schizophrenic is. Um, However, the overwhelming majority of people suffering from schizophrenia do not have multiple personalities and are not violent, which is more common among those with MPD. Um, so, I am planning to talk about more this week about the um, causes of schizophrenia, but I do want people to know that the direct cause of schizophrenia is still unknown, um, but they do have research that links it to certain things. So that is what schizophrenia is. I hope that answers people's questions because I know that people are kind of unsure what to believe about schizophrenia, and I think that a lot of people don't understand what it is. They don't know. Um, they don't know enough, and they often assume very quickly. Sorry. Really needed some tea. Yeah. Okay, so storytelling time. I am going to talk about a couple of things. I think I'll have time. I haven't really gotten very much in today. I did want to talk about with people who have schizophrenia. If you if you are ever in the position where you feel the need to talk to your voices in public or talk to whatever in public, put headphones in or put a Bluetooth headset in, whatever you want to do, and make it seem like you're talking to the person on your phone. Um, it's usually the best trick to use. So, getting into stories. So, I had weird stuff happen to me both in the second and third episode. Um, the second one, they told me that I had a tumor in my head and in my jaw. Um, they also made it seem like um, I had a heart issue as well, which I do, but they were making it seem a lot more serious than it was. So there were different times where they would tell me that I was going to go into surgery while I was asleep that night. So after I fall asleep, they were going to take me into surgery, different things like that. That was in my second episode. So in my second episode, they they made it seem like they were going to take care of things while I was asleep, right? Um, and I remember them talking about how they were going to do stuff to me through the wall. They were going to have like they have like an opening that would open up, and that they were going to do stuff through the wall while I was sitting up against the wall, different stuff like that. Um, in my third episode, I had and I felt like I was in surgery multiple times. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you know the feeling, you probably know what I'm talking about. But I also had a certain time during my third episode where I thought the tumors came back. I thought I had a heart issue, and the voices made it seem like the tumor um, had gone down, but it was never gone, and that it came back and it was bigger um, again, and that I was, um, anyways, all kinds of stuff like that. But then they also made it seem like I was connected to other people, and that to save their lives, I had um, to hold on to these people, not physically, but spiritually, like a spiritual sense. Like I had to hold on to these people, their lives, so that they could do heart surgery on them. And the whole time, I could feel them like cutting at my on my back, and different things like cutting different places around the heart, um, and going in and like I don't know how to explain this, but like they were taking out my heart and putting in a new heart and messing with the valves and things like that. I I don't know. It's hard to explain. I had multiple times where that happened, and I know people probably don't understand those feelings, but I know some people who do, and it was pretty interesting, very scary. I remember feeling like my heart was out of my chest, literally, for a moment, and how that felt. Um, yeah, it was pretty interesting. So I have time for another story. I hope that one was probably not the greatest of stories, but it was it was definitely something that happens. It does happen to people with schizophrenia where they feel certain things like that. Anyways, so I don't know, quite a few years back, must have been 2013, I went to Chicago with an ex-girlfriend. Traveled cross country, went from California to Chicago in a couple of days. We were supposed to make it back in time for her to go to work. She had asked for time off to come and visit me. It was kind of interesting. It was a last minute trip that she made out of nowhere just to get to me. Um, and I got there and things got really sour between us. They weren't going so well anymore. It was kind of like being around each other continuously, constantly in the car, and everything kind of got to us. Um, I I just remember feeling like it was too much. I needed to be back in my own space. Um, and we got into fights constantly, different things like that. And I ended up having my heart had issues while I was there because I ended up relapsing while I was there. She got into drugs while we were there. She was an ex drug addict, and she kept telling me that she's gonna quit, she's gonna quit, she's gonna quit, and ended up getting me into it. So then it caused me to have my heart issues. Um, and so I ended up having a massive panic attack one day, freaking out just majorly. And I remember telling her that I wished I was dead or whatever, or something like that. I was panicking so bad. And I was trying to get my anxiety medicine so that I could take it. And I ended up swinging forward and cutting my head open, um, like hitting my head really hard on the window. I was trying to I was cleaning up because I dropped my pills all over the place, right? And swinged forward to clean them up, hit my head on the window, the panel, the side, the like outside of it, cracked my head open, and ended up having to go to the hospital. While I was in there, she ended up telling them that I said that I wished I was dead, which put me into the psych hospital in Chicago. And while I was in Chicago, I didn't have anyone, um, didn't know anyone. And then because I threatened or said that I wished I was dead, the place that I was staying at, they told me I couldn't come back. She's like, okay, I don't know anybody in Chicago, so what am I supposed to do? I got stuck in the hospital, and so they said that since I had nowhere to go, that I needed to stay until I had someone, and I needed to have someone take me home with them, and I didn't have any way of getting any family out there. I didn't know anyone nearby other than her, and so then I remember freaking out about that at the hospital because I was just like I was so pissed at her for putting me in that position. And I know like I probably did it to myself too. I put myself in the position of taking myself to Chicago or allowing myself to go to Chicago with her. Um, but I was so upset and angry because she just was like, no, I can't help you at all. And I was like talking to her, screaming at her at the phone, on the phone, just so upset. Like, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. I'm stuck in this hospital until I figure out a way out. And I went back to my room and I was crying hysterically. And my roommate um, ended up, she saw me crying and was like, what's going on? I explained the whole story to her. Um, and she ended up taking me out of that position. She spoke to we spoke to the staff and they wouldn't let me go home with her. So then she ended up having her daughter come, because she has a different last name, come to pick me up and act like she was a friend of my family or something like that. And so I got out of that position and I ended up going and staying at her house, this woman that I met in the hospital. I'm still friends with her to this day, actually. Um, love her to death still. She's an amazing person. She got me out of the hellhole, and it was really awesome. Um, I had so much going on in my life at the time, and so did she. And I remember her telling me that I saved her life. That if she hadn't have met me in the hospital, that she was going to plan. She was planning on offing herself as soon as she got out of the hospital, and that meeting me made her realize that she had people that she needed to take care of and things that she needed to do in her life. And it was it was amazing to hear that. It made me feel like I didn't go to Chicago all for nothing, you know, like I actually went there to save someone's life, and it made me feel good. It was definitely the best thing out of all of that that came for me was meeting this person that I am now still friends with to this day. And I think that is the thing that I will take with me for the rest of my life from that situation. I have learned that looking at the positive is always better than looking at the negatives. And so I have always tried my best to make sure that I pay attention to the positives instead of the negatives. And so when I look back on situations, I try my best to find the silver lining always. And that is my silver lining for that story. And yeah, that's it. Sorry that I didn't have anything great for today. Kind of um, just in a weird place. And, you know, I would love to hear more about what other people would like to have me talk about on these talks. If there's anything that you would, you know, like to know about schizophrenia, if there's any information that you would like to learn about in general, anything like that, just let me know. I will definitely get to it and try to come up with stuff. But I do have other topics that I want to talk about. I've just been kind of saving them. So um, once I get to those topics, um, you know, I hopefully you guys will enjoy them. Have a great day, guys. Sorry this video, again, I'm going to apologize. Sorry this video wasn't a better video. Um, have a great day. Um, I wish you guys the best. Stay beautiful, stay wonderful, stay amazing, stay awesome, stay unique, stay you. And just treat yourselves right, you guys. Um, try to focus on the positives about yourself and about everything around you. It may help. Have a great day, you guys. Peace and love.